Hey, I'm Dustin and I'm on staff at Timberlake. This series, Daily Encounters, is where we've been navigating the weird, awkward, and common daily interactions in life. And today I want to talk about a specific interaction with people in the service industry. This could be your mechanic, your barista, your real estate agent, someone who does a service that you purchase and have a face-to-face interaction with. And if you've been around church for a while, you probably heard a story that goes like this. A person from church goes into a restaurant, their server comes up, takes their order, and then just opens up about something in their life. The person who's there at the restaurant offers to pray for them, invites them to church, and by the end of the story, the server decides to follow Jesus. For a lot of us, we hear a story like that and think, that is not something I could do. That is something for pastors or extroverts. But what if that crazy situation is actually right in front of you? What if your daily encounter at your favorite coffee shop or the restaurant just down the street is an opportunity for you to love your neighbor? Jesus tells a story that's pretty well known. You might have heard it. It's called the parable of the Good Samaritan. And he tells the story in response to a religious person, a Jewish person who asked him the question, how do I get eternal life? Jesus responds at first, well, what does the law say? The man replies, love God with everything you have and love your neighbor as yourself. So Jesus says, you got it. Go and do that and you'll have eternal life. But the man wants some clarification. Who's my neighbor? So Jesus responds by telling that famous parable where a man is mugged and beaten and left for dead. And a Jewish priest and a Jewish Levite walk past him and see him in pain, but cross over to the other side of the street to avoid helping. And finally, a Samaritan man walks by. And now the Jewish leader asking the question would have thought very poorly of Samaritans. This is a group of people who followed a perverted version of his religion. People he would not want anything to do with and would absolutely not want moving into his neighborhood. Yet the Samaritan is the one who stops and helps the man who was beaten up. He pays for his medical bills, he gives him a place to stay while he recovers, he gives him a meal. And Jesus, after telling the story, looks at the person asking the question and he says, who was this guy's neighbor? And of course, the religious leader's like, the one who stopped and cared. Jesus ends this section by saying, go and do likewise. Part of following Jesus is loving your neighbor as yourself. And Jesus' definition of neighbor seems to be everyone you come across. I think when it comes to people in the service industry, sometimes we don't see them. Yeah, they're not people we hate when we think about them, but we probably just don't think about them. And what does it look like for us to take care and think about the people that God is putting right in front of us? They're not bleeding in a ditch, but maybe they're struggling and we won't know unless we change our mindset and see them. So there's 3 things that I want to tell you to help you care about the people in your life that you interact with on a regular basis in the service industry. First, remember their name. Do you know what humanizes someone the quickest? Saying their name out loud. And it's also everyone's favorite word. When you remember someone's name without having to look at their name tag, it tells them, I care about you. So if you're bad with names, make a note on your phone and check it while you're in line. It's okay to cheat, just remember their name. Number 2, find out about their life. I worked at Starbucks for a few years, and while I was on the other side of the counter, I would use this question all the time with regulars. Any fun plans this weekend? You're about to hear whatever that person is most excited about in their life right now. Add a note under your phone. Ask them about it next time you see them. How was golfing last weekend? Your mom was in town, right? What'd you guys do? Care about what they care about. Last, look for opportunities to move from professional to personal. Don't go around being weird, but if you have the opportunity, take it. Listen to what God is saying and maybe nudging you toward stepping deeper into a conversation with someone. It's something that takes practice, but if we make it a practice, we're going to find opportunities to care about people in a way that we haven't before and see God do amazing things in the lives of our neighbors. And who knows, maybe you'll be the one with a story of someone you met at a restaurant or a coffee shop who in a small interaction you got to share Jesus with and see God change someone's life forever. I hope you got something useful out of today's daily encounter. If you liked the video, leave a like and consider subscribing to the channel. We'll be wrapping up our series next week, so look forward to that. And if you missed last week's episode, go back and watch Jedediah talk about what we do with praying before a meal. Hope you guys had a great time with us so far, and we'll see you next episode.